What is going on, everybody? So now that the Kenobi show has finally ended, I just thought, why not share my thoughts on this? So let's get right into it. Even though this is a pretty flawed TV show that, has problems just like anything else, I gotta say, I actually really did enjoy this show overall. Like, I thought this was a pretty good show. Episode 5 and 6 are like what saved this show for me. Like, episode 5 and 6 are like the highlight episodes for me. That's when I feel like everything kind of came together well, or for the most part it did, and I felt like it did a lot of things right. So let's just go right into the details here. I'm gonna start off with kind of some of my issues that I had with the show and then work my way up. One thing I really want to address is this goofy ass chase scene that we got. I want to say like episode 1 with Princess Leia. That shit was just so damn silly, and that really took me out of the show completely. I think the worst part is the people that capture her. I don't even remember who they were exactly. I just know that they were hired to capture her. And they didn't even feel intimidating at all. They just felt like goofy cartoon villains, Like, oh, we're so bad and we capture the princess, ha, lol. And here's where it gets funnier. Another chase scene ends up happening, but this time it's with Kenobi. And I don't know, Princess Leia gotta have like some special powers so nobody can catch her, because that's just something else, right? Other than that, I will say that I do think, Kid Leia was well casted. I think the girl that played Leia, like Kid Leia, did an amazing job, honestly. Look, episode 1 and 2 were like a tad bit slow and all that, and I kind of understand because it's kind of showing you where we're at. This is Kenobi at the moment. Very sad, depressing little man. He looked like he just barely went through his emo phase. He's going through the same emotions that everybody did when My Chemical Romance broke up. Truly sad time, sad time to be alive. One thing I do like is that when you see Kenobi in the beginning of the show, he doesn't feel too Kenobi-like. He becomes more Kenobi-like, like I'm talking about like the kind of Kenobi that we see in A New Hope kind of Kenobi. And we start building, we start seeing him progress to that person as the show goes on. Now, I will say this much though. There's this issue that I low-key kind of have with Star Wars at the moment. It seems to be this formula that I've noticed that they've been kind of going with. And I really hope this would be kind of like the last time we deal with it when it comes to these kind of shows. And I'm talking about the whole main character babysitting a child or whatever. Now look, I get it. It works pretty well with Mandalorian, and Mandalorian's one of my favorite shows of all time, not just for Star Wars, but just in general. And yes, the whole Mando and Grogu thing is adorable, and I think it works. But the thing is, I feel like now that's starting to become a common thing, because we also see that in Bad Batch, where you got character like Omega, and then you got the main characters got to like look after her. And then now we have Kenobi with the kids. And now look, I could make an exception because I get that Kenobi's job is to, protect Luke or Leia and stuff like that. But, I just hope that, it doesn't keep repeating that, like that we don't get another Star Wars show that has a main character babysitting a kid because, with the kid it puts more things at stake or whatever. And I don't know, I just feel like that's a little bit, I don't know, I just kind of feel like that's kind of lazy. I just don't want it to be a formula or like be a thing that we see continuing on from here. That's just me, honestly. That's just how I feel about that. Now, I'll admit, Reva from the beginning of the show was not enjoyable to watch personally for me. Like she kind of really would take me out of the show at times. And like, now look, I started to like her more in episode 5 and 6. I thought she, now she has a little more character development. She's a little more understandable, and I feel like her character is a lot more better in episode 5 and 6. When the show first started, 1 through 4, even though like episodes 1 through 4, I did enjoy them, I did have some questions and concerns that I feel like everything kind of tied to that. Like, for example, the Grand Inquisitor was one of my favorites in Rebels, and he was intimidating. He was like, a really good antagonist. I actually really did like him, and I felt like he was a good threat. Now, for a moment, when I saw him get stabbed by Reva, I was like, there ain't no way they're retconning this shit, right? Because I was kind of upset for like a little while. I was like, why? But it was kind of nice to see that, hey, he was still alive. And I guess this was all part of the plan, which is another thing that I kind of was scratching my head about, because that just seems like such a convenient plan, or the way they planned that out, like Darth Vader was like, hey, we're gonna use this chick Reva because she really hates me and all that. We're gonna do all this stuff, and then the Grand Inquisitor is gonna make Reva really mad to the point where Reva stabs the shit out of him. Then we're gonna make her think that she's gonna become the Grand Inquisitor and that she's gonna be BFFs with fucking Darth Vader to the point where she's probably gonna blow him right in front of everybody. They had this plan out so that like when they pop up, it's like, ha, we got you, bitch, ha, psych. You're not the Grand Inquisitor. Like, we just wanted you to think that, and we were just using you and blah, blah, blah. Like, I just kind of feel like, man, that plan, dude, you have to have like some serious luck for that plan to really work out. I just felt like that plan was so, like, everything just kind of conveniently happened. Again, that got me scratching my head, massaging my balls in confusion, I will say one thing that I really liked, which takes place in episode 5. I kind of like the whole Anakin and Kenobi, training with each other. And there was this kind of nice back and forth where, if Kenobi had the upper hand, and then we would switch to Kenobi's perspective. Then if Anakin had the upper hand, then it'd be Vader's perspective or whatever. Something like that. Like, that's kind of what it seemed like they were doing in the show. Like, I think that episode was pretty well directed, and I kind of like how it came out. Like, I just thought there was a lot of, what's the right word? Poetic emotions, I guess. I don't really know how to describe that. I just thought it was so well made. You can see Anakin's defeat, like when he was training crossover to Vader's, because you can't really see Vader's face, so you can just kind of imagine the emotion that he's probably thinking. I thought I really liked Vader and Kenobi a lot in the show. I really am happy Christian Haydenson is back as Anakin Skywalker and gets to play as Vader. I really think the lightsaber fights were the best in this one. Another thing I really liked was when Vader fucking popped off when he was looking for Obi-Wan, and he just starts fucking killing people like right out in the open in this like little small town. He just starts using the Force, and he just starts like killing people, snapping people's necks and shit like that. Just like tearing shit up. And bro, like, I swear to God, Vader was kind of terrifying in the show. I gotta keep it real. I personally feel like he was terrifying in the show. He was really intimidating, especially that fight with Reva. That shit was, whoa. Bro, he wasn't even using his lightsaber. He fucked her up without a lightsaber, and then he takes her lightsaber and stabs the shit out of her, which I'm also confused because she kind of survived that. You figure with a giant, big-ass laser beam thing that goes through your stomach, you figure that's gotta make a massive hole inside you. You should be probably dead at that point. If you guys think I'm wrong, I'll give you some examples. Qui-Gon Jinn got stabbed and he died. Han Solo got stabbed and he died. And I'm pretty sure there's a lot of other people that have been fucking stabbed that ended up dying. Now I get, yeah, Maul survived. I don't know if it's because of the whole Sith thing, like, oh, I tapped into the darkness to survive because I used my anger. I was really angry that I got stabbed, so I survived. I was angry that I got chopped off in half, so I survived. I'm just like, yeah, whatever, I guess I'll just let it pass. Another thing that I really liked in this show was how Vader went Starkiller mode. I didn't even know he was this powerful. Like, there was a scene where the ship's flying off and Kenobi and all the people are about to escape, and he fucking pulls it down with the Force and just tears apart the ship. And, but fucking Vader over here gets bamboozled because he was all up in his feelings trying to find Kenobi. That it was a decoy ship, so then the real ship goes flying away. Kenobi's rusty in the beginning. He has to kind of, because obviously he has to distance himself in the Force to stay hidden, I guess, or whatever. Then he starts getting better. He starts using the Force more. He starts getting better with his lightsaber. And seeing the final fight with him and Vader was the best, especially that one scene where Kenobi tears a piece of Vader's helmet, and we can see like little Anakin in that bitch. And I'm not gonna lie, I don't know if it's like nostalgia or whatever, but it definitely hit my emotional side, bro. I literally felt like a kid again. Seeing Anakin in mix with Vader, and then you kind of hear a mix of like Anakin voice, Vader voice combined one, I guess. It was really, really cool. Seeing Kenobi get super emotional. I'm actually really surprised he didn't try to finish him out. Like, he did have the upper hand. He could have killed him if he wanted to. I don't know what made him be like, because I don't understand that part, kind of, because this is like the second time this has happened. He didn't finish him off in Revenge of the Sith, and he doesn't finish him off in the series. So basically, I don't know if that would make sense in episode 6 of like Return of the Jedi, where Obi-Wan tells Luke that he has to kill Vader. But then it kind of makes me wonder, why didn't he kill Vader when he had the chance? Like, he had 2 chances to do this, man. He might as well just said, hey, Luke, I'm too much of a bitch to kill Vader. So, since you're his son, he's your father, it should be easier for you to do it, right? But anyways, I'm getting a little too ahead of myself. But it was kind of like emotional to see. And I'm not going to lie, when Kenobi walks away and you hear Anakin / Vader screaming like Obi-Wan, like his voice was just so, I guess you can say, demonic. Like, Jesus Christ, dude. Him screaming that, like screaming his name, actually kind of scared me for a second. 2 characters that we see in the show that I actually kind of ended up enjoying is Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru. And seeing them fight Reva was actually kind of cool. I'm not gonna lie, just seeing them like really, like, you can really, it really shows that, hey, they really do give a shit about Luke, and they're being very protective, that they're willing to get like fucking killed for him. Overall, y'all, like, despite the flaws and negatives with the show, I really did enjoy the show. I really thought it was enjoyable. I don't know if it's nostalgia, guys. Like, I hope that's not the reason why I enjoyed the show so much, but I don't know, like, watching the show kind of made me feel like a kid, and despite some of the issues I have with the show, I still really did enjoy it. I think it was a fun show, had fun watching it. And if you ask what would I rate the show, I'm gonna have to say probably a 7.5 out of 10. I think that's like a fair score, because like, like I said, despite the negatives and all that, I think it's a fun show and I enjoyed it for the most part. But yeah, guys, that's my take on the Kenobi show. Now, there is probably more I could talk about, but I don't want to be here for a full hour. So I don't know, if you guys want another video of me talking about Star Wars stuff related or whatever the hell, going a little more balls in deep, let me know in the comment section below. Until then, guys, that is about it for this video. Catch you guys next time. Be sure to leave a like, comment, share, subscribe, and don't forget, y'all, I do live stream on Twitch. The link is in the bio. You gotta join in, bro. This shit is turned up as a motherfucker. Join the Giga Chat army. Optimal Novus signing out.